What's up, cereal bowls? It's your favorite crazy cereal, InsaneAppleJackz, here once again with the Atomic Game Squad. How are you all doing? Because I'm doing super duper chill. Hopefully you all are doing well as well, because today we're here for another video, and today we're going to switch it up slightly just a little bit to talk about something that I saw in gaming news that I kind of want to talk about, more specifically inside of PlayStation news. You know, that Sony news under the station of plays, and you're like, sir, Apple, sir, and I'm like, yes, and you're like, well, today's Monday, and we've come to an understanding that you usually do rants on Monday, and I'm like, well, you know, I kind of just saw this and side of gaming news stuff on the internet while searching around earlier, and I was like, well, this topic might not be that long, but it's based around my central play hub for gaming. You know, if you guys didn't know, I am a PlayStation guy, and maybe you're a PlayStation guy or a PlayStation girl, and it's not to say I don't like the other consoles. I like the consoles for what they offer, but I've always just felt most comfortable on PlayStation because, you know, typically fighters revolve around PlayStation, shooters revolve around Xbox, and party games revolve around Nintendo. That's just always how it's kind of been, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, well, I think I'm going to stay over here on the PlayStation side. But so you guys that don't know, one of the things that I'm referencing that's gonna sit up here and change for us PlayStation gamers very soon is actually, we're about to sit up here and see some changes to PlayStation Plus. Now, to those of you that don't know about PlayStation Plus is the monthly subscription that you sit up here and activate with your PlayStation. You pay for it, and it can be monthly, it could be every 3 months or a year, depending on what you want to pay up front. But basically, it's a service that you pay for through PlayStation, and it's an add-on type service. And with this membership, you sit up here and you get the ability to play on your PlayStation 4 online. You get discounts on games and movies and stuff whenever they're on sale, and then there's also the free games of the month. So every now and then you'll get 2 or whatever free games depending on which system you're on. And the reason why this is important is because the price is actually going up starting next month in September. To further elaborate, the online feature is only paid for if you play on PlayStation 4. So, to you PS3ers that are still holding it down over there, I see you guys. I commend you still holding it down over there. You guys still probably don't care about this that much, unless you're really like, yeah, those free games, man. But the reason why this is actually one of those things that needed to be talked about is because apparently this escalation is due to the change inside the market, and they're trying to match up prices to balance that out. Now, the service has been around since 2010. From what I'm seeing here, PlayStation Plus has been around for about 6 years, and since then, it's usually been $9 for a month, $17 for 3 months, and $49 for a year. If I'm calling it out right, I might be wrong. You know, somebody might hit me up in the chat below and be like, oh yes, well, it was this price actually in the beginning, and I'll be like, well, I'm sorry, sir or madam, I wasn't a subscriber until PlayStation 4. Like, they dragged me into that. And while it doesn't seem like it's much of a change, your month will go from $9 to $11. Your 3 months will go from $17 to $24, and your year will go from $49 to $59. It's still the fact that it's there, and it's one of those things where it's like, because you already didn't really want to be paying for the online subscription thing, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to pay for now if you want to play online with your friends and all this other goodness, and it's becoming a standard for systems. Sony's doing it, Xbox is doing it, and it's just one of those things like, well, bro, if you're raising prices, can we get a little bit more compensation? And I know they give out the free games, I know they give out the discounts, and that's the thing right there. It's cool, I understand you're giving us stuff, and it's a value deal, because Yeah, 59 for a year, and you get, what, 2 free games every month. It might not be the best games, it might not be AAA titles all the time or whatever, but it's the fact that it's free games, bro. It's games that you didn't have to pay for. And since you're paying for it anyways because you have to pay for online now, it's like, okay. But it's one of those things where it's like, alright guys, you're introducing a change to the ecosystem that we've been used to over time, and now you want us to just accept it. I mean, I know you're saying it's doing to marketing, but have something slightly adjust to balance things out for us long time Sony fans, or have something sit up here in the background, be like, oh yeah, well, this is going to come with the changes, because just adding on an extra $3 here and there, or $10 if you're a year buyer, right there, that's not so cool. Like, coming from somebody that struggles to sit up here and reactivate his memberships and pay online, bruh, like, that, I'm sitting here like, that's a game right there. That's a whole game, sir. Talking about some, you could have online play, but you can also not have a game to play online with, or you can have the game and not have online to play with. And it's a whole situation of, I bought the game, don't charge me for online to play the game. And it's one of those issues that really irks me about modern day gaming. Like, it's one of those things that's like, well, yeah, PC looks pretty sexy right now, due to the fact that it's like, oh, well, yeah, they have subscriptions and memberships to certain games, but it's a computer. You bought that computer. You're gonna sit up here and have that stuff. You already paid for your internet. You're not being forced to pay for your internet again. But with your consoles, it's like, oh yeah, you bought your console, expensive consoles. You bought your games, expensive games. Now buy your internet. Buy your internet again. I paid for my internet, sir. I just paid for my internet. No, pay for your internet again. And you're like, bro, why do I have to pay for my internet again? Like, I already paid for that. Now, for anybody that's actually wondering when these changes are taking place, so I'm recording this as of August 22nd, 2016, and it's like, why are you mentioning that? I'm like, well, it's important. So these changes will happen in September, and anybody that is already subscribed right now, it won't really affect you until September 22nd, from what I'm understanding, because that's the day that it rolls over and it renews, oddly enough, or something like that. Or that might be the date that it officially takes change. So don't quote me exactly on that, but that's what they have stated so far in a lot of these articles that are saying that it's gonna happen, and you're like, oh, no, stomach turning and all this cringe. But real question to all of you guys listening or watching, or whatever way you consume my form of media right now. What would you like to see added to PlayStation Plus? Like, if anything could be added in this change. Like, I know they're saying it's due to marketing and everything like that, and it might not be feasible to add or change too much due to them already possibly losing out on some cash with this. But the question here is, if anything could be added, what would you want to be added? And two, how do you feel about this change? Like, is it a welcome change? Is it one of those things that you're kind of going to deal with, but you don't really want to deal with it? Or is it one of those things where it's like, yeah, PlayStation Plus, bye, Felicia. But, no, just tell me down in the comments below and let me know what you think. But really, that's all I gotta say on this one. I'll catch you guys over at the end of the box. And we are back at the end of the box, where we just sat up here and finished another super duper amazing video. Big thumbs up to everybody that watched this video, and super duper big thumbs up to everybody that watched this video all the way through. I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. As always, you know, it means so much. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to sit up here and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to give it a thumbs down. As always, you can feel free to leave a comment down below, whether it's saying, what's up, hello, how are you doing? Or if you're answering one of the questions that I asked inside of the video, feel free to do either of those. And I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Now finally, you can sit up here and check out my social medias on the screen, or you can sit up here and get the links to them down in the description. And with all that being said, that's really all I had to say for this end of the box. So munch, peace out, and that's a wrap.